This is Abe Freetanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Sarah Violet Bliss and Charles Rogers, the showrunners behind Search Party. How are you both doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's great to be able to speak with you. I'm a big fan of this show. I've really enjoyed watching it since 2016, and I was excited to get a little bit of a peek at season 5.
Mm-hmm.
When you first conceived of this show, did you think that you would have 5 seasons?
I mean, we always hoped we'd have like as many seasons as possible. We definitely didn't think that it would go in the direction that it goes in, but very happy to be here.
Did you write or conceive of one season at a time, or did you have a general sense of where it might be after that?
We had like a general sense that is not where it went, and realized that we kind of had to write them one season at a time with thinking, having an idea for the next season. Hopefully, the hardest season to write was season 2, because that was when we sort of realized that we could change the genre each season, and that's when the show really became what the season of the show was going to be. And doing that was figuring that out was a long process, and glad we did, but really, really difficult. And now here we are.
Are there any great or maybe even terrible ideas that you've long since sailed past that you'd love to reflect back on that didn't happen?
There's definitely episodes that we like to be like, oh my God, remember how we thought this? Is that we were trying to make this happen? The one that always comes to mind for me was that there was a totally different, in season 2, if you remember, there was an episode where they follow the wrong twin, and that we kept trying to make that be a much more complicated story, and we had this one version where they followed the wrong twin all the way to this Russian club that had performances, and they were gonna kill the twin, and it was just a version of the show that just was not meant to be. And that was one thing, was that originally we were gonna have the friends all decide to kill April, the downstairs neighbor, but it just felt like that's not something they would do. And then there's constantly little things that
there's constantly little things. I have a couple of cards that were up on the wall, one of them being it's just funny seeing them distilled down. It's Portia holds stakes over her head, dogs jump on her. It's just what did that have to do with anything? And then it was an audition. And then one of my favorites is Julian's absolutism alienates him. Which is just it's when you kind of have what's the core of this idea, and it's not really formed yet, and it's just really funny to see the process in that way, which makes it feel really out of control and sloppy.
Do you have a favorite season from among the ones that did make the air?
I love every season in a different way. They all have such a different feeling to them. As of now, I would say it's somewhere between season 3 and season 4. But then when I think about season 2, I'm I love season 2. And then I'm but I also love season 1. And then I love season 5. So I don't know.
There are episodes from each season that I'm oh, that's a really good episode. I love the finale of season 1. I think I'm really proud we were able to pull that off. And then I love the first episode of season 2. And then I love the murder pancake episode in season 3. And now I'm just listing all the episodes I love, but I can't tell you which episodes I love in season 4, but 5, but season 4, love the roundabout episode. So yeah.
Before audiences see it, what can you preview about season 5?
it leans into horror and sci-fi in a way that the show has never done before, and it's really hard to talk about that because the first half of the season sets up things that evolve into like bigger stuff, but it's just hard to talk about. But there's a big cult aspect to season 5 that really anchors the season. And so like we watched a lot of like cult documentaries to try and structure that. And it's very much about rebirth and enlightenment and trying to change the world. Those are some of the bigger themes.
That's great. And I love your main cast, but you've also had so many fantastic guest stars over the course of the show. Is there anyone that you were particularly excited to get that you didn't think you would have, or that you were surprised was interested in the show?
All of them.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was really like, oh my God. Like when we got, it was just like, oh my God, we got Jeff Goldblum. Like that's the,
he was
the kahuna.
We were like, let's just try, we'll see. And then it was just like, oh, it's might happen. But also like early on, like we were just talking to someone else, but I was just thinking about how incredible, like when we got Parker Posey, that felt impossible. And then like every season, whenever we get someone who's exciting to us, it's just like, John Waters for this season, which Charles has been trying to do for years. But yeah.
Awesome. And this is the final season, unfortunately. Are you two working on something together next?
Yes, we are making a feature film called Monster. It's a monster movie. And it's, not the same world as Search Party, but it definitely, lives adjacently tonally to Search Party. So yeah, we're in development for that right now.
That's great. And I don't think there really is anything quite like Search Party, any of the seasons, but what are some of the shows you guys enjoy watching that you think are sort of fun like this?
I don't know if they're like Search Party, but I love Pen 15 and I love Succession. I know it's like I'm saying all the obvious shows, but yeah, I love those shows.
Love the White Lotus. That was, I think that I feel like Mike White's imagination is sort of somewhere in the same side of the spectrum. And Twin Peaks, I think, is kind of maybe not that that's a recent show, but just like in terms of what lives alongside Search Party, I hope that that Search Party can have some comparable kind of legacy as Twin Peaks has, where people continue to think about it.
I also love The Comeback.
Yeah.
Those are great answers. I really appreciate you guys speaking with me. Season 5 of Search Party premieres on January 7th on HBO Max. Thank you both so much, and looking forward to your future projects.
Thank you. Appreciate it.